Um, okay, so yeah, as you can see, I already finished building this. Oh god, what is that? Get rid of this. I hate these, you know, shadow glitches. So, try not to speak that loud. My sister's at home, so it's kind of embarrassing, but alright. Yeah. So, last episode, we were doing this, and I basically finished. I did some designs in the air for the hair I'm going to do later. Pretty difficult, I have to say. This is one of the hardest things to do by hand in a while. Getting the proportions right, everything right, the curves right. Yeah. It looks good. Now, I was going to teach you how to do the arms and stuff like that, but I was like, nah, I should probably retitle the videos now. Instead it's how to build organics, not how to build this specific statue. So, yeah, so we're gonna go look at this next thing I built. Let's do this before. It's parasite. Using voxel for it. It's pretty hard to use voxel, so I smoothed it with some voxel line by hand. So yeah, I've been doing this with my hand a lot. Pretty good so far. This is not that's not the color of the eyes yet. I'm still working on it. It's pretty good for a parasite. It's gonna have a head down here, and it's going to have like this body of a person, like if you ever see Monsters Incorporated, that crab guy, it's gonna look like that. Or well, it's not gonna look like him, but it's gonna have some person up there, like attached to this body of a giant spider crab thing, parasite. It's gonna be pretty epic. So I'm gonna teach you how to do that and plan out the joints and stuff like that. Of course, I've already seen the other tutorials on how to do it. So to plan out the joints, I found this new method. It's pretty simple. You have to make lines. Then where you want a joint or an intersection or wherever you want, you can put a sphere here, and I put another sphere here for the joint. And then you have to make lines and like pieces of glass in the sky to point for kind of like areas to point to where the joints are going to be. So we're going to work on how to make another one. I'm going to make this leg, and I'll show you how to make the other leg and plan out how to do it. So it's going to have like an armored plate, like this one. This plate I did by hand. I didn't use voxel for it. I used voxel for pretty much everything else. I smoothed it by hand because it's easier. And you make it look like you want it to, because I see people do organics and they don't they just depend solely like just on voxel, but I depend on my hand skills. Okay, every time I say that I want to say that's what she said, but let's continue. So we have this. What I've seen in the anatomy of most like crabs and spiders and fantasy art things, it's like this little section that comes out here, long section, and then like this one claw that like, yeah, I don't know. Let's start with this small section. So where I want this to be facing is it's still going to be kind of forward because I'm going to put one more leg back here that faces backwards. So it looks like I need to make it lower. This you have to figure out where your point is going to be. You have to figure out, let's go from here. And then remember, if you want to do the line command, you do /BL, and then /V1 for your material, and then you basically have it there. And then when you have a joint done, I usually mark it with a really a good contrasting color, like yellow, and you know where to put it. The anatomy doesn't have to fit perfectly to this. It's like our forearms do not look like our legs, so you know, it has to match pretty close. It could be bigger, it could be shorter, longer. What I do want is this claw and this whole thing to be looking the same. This doesn't matter really. Let's just do it. I want it to be facing. Let's make it almost the same height. So we want to make it up here almost, and you want it to go forward. So well, not completely forward, just slightly up here. You have to really estimate, and then once you put it, you have to go back and check it out. I can't even see it. That's why we mark it with oh, it's like invisible. We mark it with the yellow, and if we connect it, you can already envision it. it really would work. That looks pretty good to me. You really have to look around. You can't just put it anywhere you want. Yeah, that really meets my standards. I'm trying to train myself to use voxel because these organics have been taking me so long, and I don't want to waste too much time anymore. My time is very limited nowadays, so I have to start using voxel for it. So let's move this here. I could do this by hand, but it's just really no purpose almost. This is really more efficient, and it gets the job done faster. I could do it by hand. I'm doing it by hand for the curved lines. For this bottom thing, I made it slightly curved. You can't do that with the voxel thing. I made the jaw like by hand, like you know what I mean. I did this by hand. I didn't use straight lines really for that one. So second segment, it is slightly shorter. It is angled like this. Make sure it seems right. I have a feeling it's gonna be here. So yeah, it's basically how you do the joints. So here. Does it meet my needs? Yeah, it's basically perfect. I feel like it needs to be longer than that. Yeah, definitely longer than that. It's gonna extend up to down there somewhere, so when I look at my lines, it really doesn't matter anywhere. It matters where it ends up at. Here we go, and we're gonna have to do this slightly inwards. So in here somewhere. So it's gonna come down. I just want to mark the ending point, and then I'll curve. Oh, God dang it. Okay, there. That's pretty much how I want it to be, and I want it to come down like that, you know what I mean? So, what I did do was, I did do a straight line, but the thing is I had to edit it. Okay, so that's pretty decent. Doesn't really, I don't like it, but it works. Sometimes might need to put 2, just in case. Oh, why did Internet Explorer stop working? So that's basically how I plan out the joints. You see, it comes from this initial ball, which connects to the body, and I use the ball because I can attach more smaller spheres to make a body, which I don't want to do by hand for efficiency. I'll make some more shoulder-like parts, like, you know how arachnids have like this outer shell. Yeah, that's basically how I'm gonna do it. Now with voxel, what you want to do /BB/B1 for the size, and we're still using the same thing. All right, so there, it's gonna be kind of small, but there's like this disc up here that it's kind of like a disc, so you want to shape it like one. I use /BBB for to make it smooth. I don't use anything else. No lift, no nothing. That's for terrain. So this needs to be kind of exaggerated. Just make a disc. That's all you have to do. It's much easier, but smoothing it has to require a lot of thinking. You have to use your hand for it. So yeah, that's basically how you do it. So let's just make this forearm, or I don't even know what to call it. Let's go back here. Come on. Dang it! I can't believe I have to finish that statue. So it didn't. Sorry, it's not this is not a tutorial. It's just showing you how I do it. I had to rename the video, the other video and this video, just so it makes more sense, you know, because whatever. So you see me shaping this. It looks really skinny because I have to do the bottom. What you don't want to do is accidentally hit the other things, the other body parts. So you keep going. I use this because it's really thin. So yeah, and I might need to make the disc here bigger. need to be thicker. It's taking a while to load it. Right, and then you might need to do more. Why is it? Come on. It's taking a while to load it. I have no idea why. Okay, good. I was like, what the heck is happening? So we basically have this basic structure out. It shouldn't take this long. It's because it's taking a while to load. Is the shaders. I find it easier sometimes to do it with this because, I don't know, it just feels like I know what I'm doing. I don't know, it's a preference. As you notice, the bottom's actually thicker, so what you want to do is just keep going like this on the bottom. And it might look weird at first, but you're going to balance it out later. Just keep doing it. And the good thing with this is that if you make a mistake, you can fix it easily. I know I could do that by hand, but it's kind of harder than you think. It's not like voxel, you get to, I don't know. Voxel doesn't look as good to me sometimes, so I will smooth this out by hand. So it's basically reaching its thickness to do thin structures like this. Let's see if it looks relatively the same. Doesn't look like it's as thick, but I added the thickness with my hand. There, yeah, you gotta add thickness just close enough. So now I will do the smoothing process. Load, a piece of crap. Okay, there. It should load. I don't know what is this thing's deal. Probably gonna lag out or something. I don't know. Come on. Okay, let's do this. Let's just start right now. I don't really like using BB. I like using my hand. So much like, I don't know. This just closes the gaps. Let me show you. So when you have this clump, what you can do is, I'm just like, I can't even explain how to do it, but you gotta make like, yeah, stuff like this. You can either make it like, don't be afraid to use 90-degree angles sometimes in these. What you want to do is just keep the general shape going and delete the weird looking things and just like replace it with like curves and keep it the same general shape. See what I'm doing here? And it will be big here and progressively smaller here, and it will plateau into this just thin shape that constantly goes up here. It's not going to get smaller the whole way, it just stays a small shape. But this bottom part here is supposed to be bigger, so as you see, you have to look at all angles and know what you're doing. This part looks weird, obviously. So you just smoothen it. And you in this disc shape, try to make like circles, kind of. You know what I mean? So that seems reasonable, but it looks weird here because they need to add another segment. So yeah. So this is how you make like a parasite leg for this part of the video, and the next part is how you add color and design and detail. That's for this parasite, I'm pretty sure, or maybe with the lady that I finished. And I'm sorry that I didn't show you how to build it. It's not something you can really show how to build. It takes lots of time. I could do a time lapse, but I don't know how to do it. I should probably do that. I should probably. That's like copying Craftological almost. Doing a time. No. Anybody can do time lapses. Okay, so I probably won't do that, but it's a good idea. We're already 14 minutes in. So as you can see, I hate like in such a small, like really thin, like what do you call limb. It's really hard to use /BB to smoothen it out. Don't rely on voxel all the way. That's not very helpful to get a good result. This looks better than doing it with /BB because it's more accurate. You have more control of it. So this part looks weird. See? Just refine it, and this This should look more like a disc, so try to make it thinner. You know, you gotta really look at every angle and see how it is. Looks like a disc from here, sort of. I don't know. Oh, here. Okay. Voila! You finished your leg, and it's not really too difficult when you're using voxel, because you have the general shape down, and yeah. That's basically how I just basically taught you how to do the joints. You know, make sure you have reference pics. It's pretty simple. Yeah, I guess I could end the video from here. Hopefully you learned a little bit of my building process. That's probably how I might title it. How to who cares? All right, I'll think of that later. But thanks for watching. If you want to see more, then please subscribe for more tutorials. I'll probably do a tutorial next. I don't know. Kind of busy. Sorry I was a little quiet today. I don't want my sister hearing me. Yeah. I kind of like this parasite. It's going to be pretty cool, and I've never built anything like this, this complex before. It's pretty cool. So, oh yeah, that's another arm. I use the joint method. Well, it's not a method. It's just how you do it. I keep acting like I own a method or like it's patent pending, but there you go. Completely finished it. This is not the head. Well, it is a head, but there's going to be another body on top. All right. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next video on organics. Bye.